Okay, I just wanted to show something real quick that I was going through some charts and stuff like that. BCH versus BCHG, grayscale, the trust. And I was looking at this chart here for, I showed you this last week in another video. And this is grayscale Bitcoin Trust is in the, soon to be an ETF, I guess. It's in the gold. And the Bitcoin Cash is in the blue. And this is a 1 month chart. You know, they're kind of going okay. Lately they've been doing the same stuff. Although, you look at the bigger picture on the, let's say the 1 year chart, it doesn't look very even. Wait. Oops. That's screwed up. On the 1 year chart, it doesn't look very even. The blue Bitcoin Cash, BCH, the native cryptocurrency, has risen more than Bitcoin Cash, though. However, I noticed in the last 5 days, and especially today, it just seems that Bitcoin Cash, this is the daily. Bitcoin Cash grayscale is overperforming. Is that what the word is? And Bitcoin Cash, the native, is going down a little bit. You know, notice the crossed lines right about maybe here or so. It doesn't show where, but lines have crossed, which is a good sign in the last few days. And you can see it here too. You know, the final these days here, September 10th, today, they're a lot closer. This is a 1 month chart. Bitcoin Cash and Bitcoin Cash grayscale are a lot closer. They're getting a lot closer from this huge departure. This is a 1 year chart that started happening right about here, which is January 2025. They both came down, but Bitcoin Cash grayscale really dipped bad right about here. But it seems to be they're both going up, but just in the last few days, I've noticed that switch over. Let's look at the 1 day chart and see it even closer. You can see it here on the 1 day that it's crossed over. Grayscale has moved up, where Bitcoin Cash native they crossed over several times in these last few days. But that's what's going on. I just wanted to show you guys that today the Bitcoin Cash native is not doing as good as the grayscale. Let's look at the grayscale products together. Everything's pretty green, solid green. All morning long, everything's been green on the grayscale this today. Yesterday and the day before, it was kind of choppy and kind of going sideways and kind of like on the red side. The big one is nothing. Everything's pretty steady, which is kind of good. I hate to see them when they jump a lot, just one or so. Why they do that, who knows why, Okay, now we're gonna look at the Litecoin 1 year chart. Okay, so this is what it's doing in the 1 year chart. Let's see in the last month how it looks like. Grayscale in the gold and Litecoin in the blue, the native. August 24th, it started right about here. It crossed over. Grayscale moved up ahead of Litecoin, the native. And it kind of went down, but it's kind of going up the same way. Let's see, how is it today? It appears to be, they're kind of like the same thing, same pattern, basically. Let's look at today just for kicks. Okay, it's getting closer. Grayscale, Litecoin, moving up to quite a bit, matching up to Litecoin. What does that indicate? Between the two is like, Litecoin Grayscale is like, a real wild one. I couldn't say what. It's just that it's kind of like they're even right now. They're kind of trading even, where before it was just like the Grayscale just dipped pretty bad. That's the way it goes, and that's the way the thing is. So about these Grayscale trusts is that they kind of have they're not going to trade equally on a one-to-one basis. Cryptocurrency has its own market share. Stock market is Grayscale, and it has its own thing. They're not the same, yet they're kind of something like MicroStrategy and Bitcoin. Hopefully, we break out of that pattern that we saw that it just flatted out Grayscale. Hopefully, after all these ETF things are over with, things get back to normal. And personally, I don't think it's going to be, just my opinion on all this, guys. Of course, I don't think it's going to matter. A market is a market, even if it's an ETF, a trust, or whatever. Cost of management fee is going to improve BCHG versus an ETF. What it tells me, it's annual fee. It's 2.5 right now for BCHG. Likely substantially lower than 2.50 if it's a hypothetical Bitcoin Cash ETF. Market has driven the fees down to a range. That's getting a little way too technical. The lower fees reduce the drag on performance. A lower expense rate allows more of the fund's gains to pass through to the investor. An ETF trades in a major stock exchange. That is true. It's instead of the OTC counter, which is much better. Excuse me. Market mechanics help eliminate large and persistent premiums or discounts to NAV. So I don't know how that's going to improve it, but things are going to get a little bit better. I guess the BCH and BCHG are going to be closer in price. Market forces without arbitrage mechanisms on an ETF can deviate sharply. Yeah, that's what it's doing right now, which is a risk for new investors. And everybody who's into this, it's like, what's going on? Market makers can create and redeem ETF shares to ETF's price line enlarged with its NAV, a process that is designed to protect investors. Basically, you have market makers and you don't buy it directly on the OTC counter. So, so the price is going to be a little bit more in line. So if BCH goes up quite a bit, BCHG is going to go up quite a bit also. And it holds true for the other way around too. If it drops, it's probably going to drop just as much. So you're not going to have a big swing between the two. That's basically what I got here. Whoops, need a haircut. Okay, that's all I got for today. No financial advice here, guys. Please do your own research, your own due diligence. Go to your advisors or whatever. I wouldn't, but I'm just saying, just so so nobody comes there and says, "Oh, you gotta buy this," and it's I lost all my money. Let's see, what else did I want to say today? So that's BCH and Litecoin. Litecoin is up, almost like 40 cents today. which is if we have an ETF, it'll be closer to what it's doing today, which is kind of like even on Litecoin. The same thing with BCH and BCHG. The prices are going to be a little bit more like stocks, where there's a cushion. It's not that it's a conspiracy. People are, the market makers are taking money or anything. That it's a cushion. It's a cushion from wild swings in money, in prices. But there's two markets involved, and the OTC counter was basically just buying it outright without market makers. So there's no cushion. There's no shock absorbers inherent in that. So it might be a good thing, especially if you had bought, or maybe, I don't know, maybe if you buy before, it becomes an ETF, especially right now, geez. I'm still thinking of getting rid of some of my other ones and just buying some more BCHG at the moment. Hopefully I get I wonder if they're going to keep the same ticker symbol BCHG, or they're going to change it. I don't know. Anyways, I think Jeff, he's working on finding out a little more information about this. By the way, I had asked AI about the ETF versus OTC trust, what some of the differences. But yeah, then again, lower fees on management costs. So that's going to be probably better for if you're holding long term. Management fees can be quite a bit if you own a lot of it. Anyways, that's my video for today. Hope you have a good day, guys, and we're holding strong, holding through the night and day, and just waiting, which is fine. I'm not moving. I am not moving this stuff, even if I have to move out of my house and go and sleep under a bridge or something. I am not selling these because this is a big opportunity. I mean, that's the way I see it. Anyways, have a good